All right, sir, tell us your name.
I am Ruben Romero, writer of the agency and Chief Creative Officer of Think Alike Productions.
And what is your website address?
You can find us on www.thinkalikeproductions.com or theagencycomicbook.com. Or you could always just look me up on Facebook, Ruben Romero.
And what credits are to your name?
I've got the agency, co-writing Three Swords with Bob Sally. I've also written The Throwaways. And again, my flagship book is The Agency, which was co-written by me and Roger Cabrera.
And you're located out of?
I was born and raised in Miami, but I live in Tampa.
And what is your favorite comic book currently?
My favorite comic book right now would have to be The Walking Dead or Nail Biter.
And finally, if you could have one superhero power, what would it be?
Probably flying. I like flying.
All right, Ruben, the seven deadly questions sent me here because they're too lazy and they're at a beach today.
They're tanning right now.
They're tanning right now, apparently. So I'm going to ask the questions they sent me.
Okay.
So, what is your favorite Think Alike Productions comic book? And why?
My favorite Think Alike Productions comic book. To be honest, it's probably a brand new one right now, written by Richard Rare. It's called Storm Pirates. It's kind of like Johnny Quest meets Percy Jackson. It deals with Greek mythology and New Age technology. I know a little bit more about the story just because, again, we all work together, so we talk a lot about it. But issue 1 just premiered, and it's really just something that always, it's an adventure, and it involves kids. So that's always been kind of my thing with Goonies and things like that. Always love those kind of stories.
Okay, we know you're a huge Arrow fan.
Right.
But who would you cast as the Green Arrow if you couldn't have him out?
Probably Charlie Hunnam, just because he looks the part, and he did well on Sons of Anarchy. I don't know if I'd want him as my DC Cinematic Universe Arrow, but definitely on TV, I could see him pulling off the part.
What is the point that Ruben Romero says, "I made it, I'm here"?
I think I've reached that point. I think I've gotten to that point, and that's not me being big-headed or anything like that. But I mean, I started in 2014 with one comic book. By the end of this year, my company will have 20 titles under its belt from various creators. I will have 4 published books that have my name on it. I feel like I have made it. I've experienced great things. I sat on a panel with Amy Chu and Ramon Perez. So I think it's one of those things where you have to be satisfied with what you're doing and be happy. And of course, I can always reach higher goals and get to better places. But right now, I feel like I can be proud.
Very good answer. What title or character do you need to work on in your lifetime?
We talk about like mainstream, like Marvel or DC.
Anything. Everything's on the table.
I'll give you a 2-part answer. If I could work on an independent character or characters, I would probably want to write, an issue or co-write an issue with Robert Kirkman on The Walking Dead. I love zombies. Grew up loving zombies. I think I've watched George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead more than anybody alive. And then mainstream, I would love to work on a Justice League book. Just because you get to play with all those characters and those interconnections would be just so much fun. So,
what is the worst advice someone has given you about creating comic books?
To focus on turning a profit, on making money. I understand that it's a business, but at the end of the day, it's probably not the best advice that you want to give somebody starting out. It's a very difficult business. So if you put that in somebody's head about making money, you're kind of setting them up to fail.
All right, Ruben, the 7 deadly questions see you all over. You're doing podcasts, you're doing making a TV show, you actually have live Facebook sessions. Would Ruben Romero be okay with being the behind-the-scenes guy, letting other creators become famous while you're making a good living?
Yeah, no, definitely. I'd love to play, the chess master, so to speak, putting those pieces out there, helping them move across the board. As much as I love interacting with people, I could definitely take a back seat. I mean, it would probably help with my sleep. I could probably actually sleep, but But yeah, no, definitely. I would love to do that. I would love to be able to facilitate other people and help them, and to help them, gain notoriety and popularity.
What is your biggest missed opportunity or mistake that you have made while creating?
I would probably say it came with the flagship book with the agency. We had this whole big plan about, an ongoing series, and I think that one thing that I realized fairly quickly, or that we realized fairly quickly, was that the independent market reacts better to shorter runs, unless you've been picked up by like an Image or a Dark Horse or an IDW. So we had like this big opera, so to speak, planned out. And now I just, we had to condense it to 32 issues, and I feel like our biggest missed opportunity was to include more characters in the first 5 issues of the agency, because we're going to have to kind of shorten that long-term ongoing series thought process into a shorter run. So I feel like I kind of missed that opportunity, but hopefully I'll be able to make up for it in volume 2.
All right, Ruben, since the 7 didn't bother showing up, I don't care about the limits they have on it, so go free. Tell us why everyone should be a fan and what's coming up with Think Alike Productions.
Definitely. First and foremost, we'll be at Tampa Bay Comic Con. We're going to do a few Wizard Worlds, one in Chicago. We're going to be at Baltimore Comic Con. We just wrapped up a Kickstarter for 3 Swords, which is a retelling of the 3 Musketeers that I'm doing with Bob Sally. Alessandro Miracolo, Dennis Lehman are the artist and colorist, respectively. I'm also about to launch a Kickstarter in about probably sometime in August for the Throwaways, which is kind of like my love letter to Steven Spielberg and everything 80s sci-fi movies, kids' adventures. And I'm doing that with Clara Meath, who is the Scat Atlanta valedictorian. So, and we also have a lot of titles coming out under Think Alike Productions. If you follow Think Alike Productions on Facebook, we definitely keep you updated on that.
All right, thank you, Ruben, for your time. We know how precious it is.